starting to look like Christmas and the New Year and 2025. And Dana White says in 2025, we are getting the biggest heavyweight bout in UFC history. He says, when asked, Dana White, that the matchup between Tom Aspinall and the defending champion in that heavyweight division, Jon Jones, is 100% going to happen.
Uncle Dana. I mean, that's big news. Because there was
Dana does really always give us what we want, right?
And we do. I think that's his uniqueness about his division, because that's what he keeps saying about boxing, that you guys let the idea of these dream fights linger on forever, and then they happen too late or they don't happen at all. But with the UFC, the best have to fight the best. With the UFC, we won't really care much about the record. You could lose 5 or 10, but we'll still regard you as a GOAT. Like Jon Jones, it's not lost. But if you went through the hardest gauntlet of them all and you came out shining in the end, regardless of a couple of chips on your shoulder, then you are the champion or you're the GOAT in that particular division. And so we've got someone like Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall, who's at his peak. Jon Jones seemed to be a little bit over the hill, but we'd never know up until we put them together, because I think to myself, he's been out for quite a while. That coming against a young guy like that might test him a little too much. But I think his wrestling is still a very big weapon. But what we do have, Jay, in this announcement is the idea that we rid ourselves of the idea of Jon Jones versus Alex Pereira. It's not happening. What we have for sure, and what we have as a 100% guarantee, is Aspinall versus Jon Jones. And I think for me, it's been long overdue, because Jon Jones has been the king, right, at light heavyweight, ascends to heavyweight, beats Cyril Gane, then beats Stipe. Tom Aspinall has run through everyone in front of him up until then, and he had the interim title for so long that you thought to yourself, well, isn't the point of the interim championship the king in the absence of the king? Now that the king is back, let them face each other, right? And I think now we've got the fight that we've always wanted, and I just can't wait.
Let's settle it. Let's settle it. Who is the king of the hill? And the other thing, Chuck, that we are putting to rest is that Jon Jones is ducking Tom Aspinall.
Yeah.
Because Dana White said behind the scenes, Jon Jones has never been that guy. He's never been a guy to turn down a fight. And here we are, right? And all those people who said if it quacks like, if it swims like, it must be. What do you have to say now about Jon Jones ducking this fight? Because what we have on record from Uncle Dana is that it is 100% happening. He also teased that there's something big that's also going to happen that we're not prepared for. Can't wait to actually get the confirmation as to what that is. But right here, right now, Chuck, absolutely excited about yet another fight that we've been speaking about, that we've been building up to, and that we've been talking about as a fantasy matchup about to happen in 2025. It's gonna happen. So I can't wait until we get there and we get to witness Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. And I hope we see a few fights between the two of them, in fact.
I think, Jay, look, what's also on the line is Dana White's reputation, because for every question that was posed or asked of Dana White, the answer's always been Jon Jones. Who's the pound for pound? Jon Jones. Who's the GOAT? Jon Jones. Who's the best? Jon Jones. And now Jon Jones goes against Tom Aspinall, and we get to see was Dana White right all along, because Dana White kept saying, if you put two people in a room and you close the door, the person who's coming out is Jon Jones. Now we know who the other person in the room is. It's Tom Aspinall. Now we need to see
the man who finishes his fights on average in 2 minutes, Chuck.
Let's see if Dana White is right about this game, because, I mean, he's the president, right? So you want to trust him a bit, but Tom is coming for him, and we'll see if the young gun rather has got enough in the tank for Jon Jones.